Demystifying objectivity. Oracles. What are truth and value? The problem arises when we take components like correctness or pain and assert an isolated entity like description for them, kernels, things themselves, that cannot be examined any further. We know what pain and pleasure are as feelings. If you're going to deny that, move on. This video is not for you. The question is, what is value? And then, what is our purpose? Relational to objectivity. Value goals. Value is a unit in a net sum or mathematical equation representing suffering with negativity. You can see that just because an equation is made does not make the truth. What is suffering? Furthermore, what is negativity? Negativity is representation, in this case, for repulsive. We want to stay away from it ultimately, if not in an immediate reactionary sense. Great discipline to undermine any reactionary sense, basically like your nerve twitching. The nerve twitch, basically. So, we want to avoid suffering. Now what? Do our innate desires, hunger, make us special, or are they purposeful? Since desire is not intrinsically attached to anything meaningful besides selfish gratification, there's no innate purpose. Furthermore, since deprivation, being without, and pain are a necessary precursor to being relieved and feeling well, pleasure is practically a condition of less bad, negative. There are no true thoroughly demonstrable, and reliable experiences that are an accomplishment, good in and of themselves. The natural state is unpleasant. Anyone who has gone without food, water, shelter, and remains still will know that. We flee from the natural state of decay, because there's a belief of reward, accomplishment, where there is a reward of less bad. A deception. Which is still better than probably decay and dying, maybe, depending on your circumstance. Fortunately, the rewards, as stated, are mostly empty by themselves, basically living for yourself, alone, your family, your friends, by themselves, as your only purpose. The only accomplishment is to be cost-effective, less harm overall. Anything less is failure. Since suffering is intrinsically repulsive, the statement that negativity is subjective or arbitrary is false. By our very design, our desires, avoiding, reacting even, to suffering is less, not a choice, until there is no perceived reward for pushing through pain. You cannot want to suffer since it is the antithesis of reward/relief. Desire necessarily implies reward or relief, even if it is simply a notion in your head, like pride. So basically just a belief that you're accomplishing something. Even if there isn't an accomplishment, that can be as a reward, basically. Push through lots of shit, like Sisyphus or something. I acknowledge that there are perhaps special moments in life that are harder to dissect their power. I believe that even with these goods, something else is, quote-unquote, life is still brutal and unfair. Is love worth torture, suffering, or bliss? Would you sacrifice others for what you love? I believe it would mainly be a biased decision and totally unreliable, since it cannot be dissected. And until then, yeah, it cannot be used as justification, since we know there is a known negative. You must prove the good, the true good. Your love is a true good, worth torturing someone else for. And besides that, yeah, so even with just the mundane, just our mundane lives, just the severe conditions people go through are in right now. Right now, someone's dying right now, and I'm just not aware of it. So it makes me care less because I'm not aware of it. Care less for the person. It makes me care less about, because yeah, I'm not completely present to it. But if I was aware of it, it would be pretty unbearable to be aware of that all the time. So I guess my argument is that the really bad shit makes everything else that we're doing very trivial. And love is kind of like, I can understand maybe saying my life, my suffering was worth that moment. But as soon as it becomes about other people, it just gets really messy and sloppy. Since I cannot really prove or demonstrate it, I can only just believe it maybe for myself. I can't really prove it. That's the problem with it. So it needs to be provable and dissected for true good. Once it involves others, because then for me it can be more just a belief, and if I suffer from my own belief, then that's my own it's just my own fault. Truth is correctness, relational to independence of observation, objects, wholes, objectivity. There is no thing itself. We are wholes, W-H-O-L-E-S. Logically deducible to nothingness, scientifically inferred, independent of observation. Consciousness is dependent on brains, wholes. Logically deducible to nothingness. Void equals void, feeling equals feeling, void remains void because void equals void. No first thing, no first cause, oxymoronic. First cause. First causer is an oxymoronic statement because there's no cause to cause it. So that's basically my clarifications that have been stated on oracles, objectivity, and subjectivity. Probably gonna do some videos with cassette in the future. Getting one tomorrow. Thank you for listening. I don't know if anyone listens to these. I get very little feedback sometimes. That's probably mostly my